The graveyard rooster. The first time the rooster crowed, no one saw it, but everyone heard it. Before the sun rose, before the first smoke called from kitchen fires, before even the village dogs stretched from sleep, a rooster crowed, loud, clear, echoing from the graveyard. The people of Umukwa woke in confusion. Who keeps a rooster there? One woman asked. No one, another replied, wrapping her wrapper tightly. That place has been empty for years. The graveyard sat at the edge of the village, forgotten, overgrown, and avoided. Even children knew better than to play near it. The next morning, it crowed again. By the third day, fear had entered the village. Because this was no ordinary crow. It came at the same time, sharp, heavy, like it carried something inside it. Something is wrong, the elder murmured. But the villagers did what people often do. They ignored it until the boys got involved. The boys. 4 boys. Chinedu, Soma, Ifeanyi, and little Obinna, who talked too much but feared nothing. They gathered under the mango tree that afternoon. You heard it, Chinedu asked. I heard it, Soma said. My mother said it's a spirit. Obinna laughed. A rooster spirit, then let's go and catch it. The others hesitated. But curiosity is stronger than fear in young hearts. Tomorrow, Ifeanyi said quietly, before it crows, we go. The next morning, while the village still slept, the boys walked, barefoot, silent. The path to the graveyard was narrow, swallowed by tall grass and old memories. Trees leaned inward like they were listening. The air felt heavier. Maybe we should go back, Soma whispered. But Obinna was already ahead. Are you afraid of a chicken? It is. They reached the graveyard, broken stone, sunken earth, names long forgotten. And then they saw it, the rooster. Standing on an old grave was a rooster, white, too white. Its feathers looked untouched by dust. Its eyes did not blink. The boys froze. It's just a bird, Obinna whispered, though his voice shook. Then the rooster lifted his head and crowed. Once. The sound cut through the air like a blade. Twice. The wind began to move. Leaves trembled. The boys held their breath. The rooster crowed a third time, and then the wind carried a voice. Not loud, not soft, but everywhere. Remember, the boys looked at each other. The sacrifice, the ground beneath them felt cold. That brings life, silence. The rooster was gone. Gone? No wings, no movement, nothing, just empty air above the grave, and the boys ran. They burst into the village shouting, there is something there. It spoke. The rooster spoke. The villagers gathered. Some laughed. Some were afraid. But one man did not laugh, Pastor John. He stepped forward slowly. Take me there, he said. The revelation. By midday, the elder, the boys, and Pastor John stood in the graveyard. The sun was high, but the place still felt cold. Which grave? Pastor John asked. Chinedu pointed. They walked closer, and then one of the elders gasped. This place, he whispered. I remember. The others turned to him. This was the resting place of those who died during the great sickness many years ago. He said, when the village was dying, people were buried quickly, without honor, without remembrance. Silence fell. Pastor John knelt. He touched the cracked earth. Then he spoke out, not just to the people, but as if speaking to something deeper. When the living forget the dead, the past begins to cry out. The wind stirs. The voice you heard, Pastor John continued, turning to the villagers. It's not just about death. It is about sacrifice, about those who give their lives, knowingly or unknowingly, for others to live. The villagers shifted uneasily. We abandon this place, he said. We allow memory to die. An old woman began to cry softly. My grandmother is buried here, she whispered. I have not come in years. That evening, Pastor John gathered the village. No fear, no shouting, just truth. We will not run from this, he said. We will restore what we abandoned. And so they did. The next morning, the entire village went to the graveyard. Men cleared the thick bushes. Women swept the ground. Children gathered stones to mark forgotten graves. Names were spoken again. Stories were remembered. Tears were shed. And for the first time in years, the graveyard felt alive. The final sign. Days passed. The strange crowing stopped. Peace returned. But one morning, as the sun began to rise, a soft crow echoed. The villagers turned. There, at the edge of the graveyard, stood the white rooster. It crowed once, soft, gentle, then it turned, walked into the tall grass and disappeared. This time, no fear followed. Only peace. Ending. Pastor John stood beside the elders. They only wanted to be remembered, he said quietly. And from that day on, no grave in Umukpa was forgotten again, because the village had learned that when you honor the past, you give strength to the present. Lesson. Respect for the past brings peace to the present.